Thank you again for joining me. May the divine light burn out all forms of evil in your lives and in the lives of your family, those whom you pray for. May the divine light so advance that it diminished and neutralized the power of evil that influence you in any way. Christ the light burns out all evil. Christ the light shine forth before you. Christ the light elevate your lives. Welcome to this reflection on growing spiritually. I am Father Vibert Stevens of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Bridgetown, and I continue my series of sharing spirituality with you. My dear friends, a friend of mine having her grandchild with her, and haven't seen him for some time, said that I know that she cannot embrace or she cannot be near the child. She said when she saw him, he was so grown. He just got tall. And his language, the way he's speaking, his vocab, he even sang in a way that you will think it's a modern Calypsonian. Such a beauty. When we speak of growth of individual, we very often think of it in the physical sense and also in the sense of language. I have already dealt with physical, but linguistical spirituality has to do with learning the language. How do we learn language? Many of us know a lot of words, thousands of words, so that we can speak accurately the English language, hopefully. Standard English, or we know words that we can speak any form of language. So we have a wide vocabulary and we use it so that we can communicate. Linguistical spirituality has to do with communicating with the divine. And I said, this is a word I coined myself, like economic spirituality. So, how do I grow with language? So I learn how to use language. I learn syntax. I learn the verb and the noun and the adjective and all of these ways in which I can speak the language. This emphasis develops a kind of self-confidence. It develops a sense of understanding of the world around me and so on. This is more or less the same thing in spirituality, where we learn to grow linguistically by learning the language of God. So linguistic language is a divine language. So the divine language helped me to utter or to communicate the message of the divine, or the message to the divine, and to receive message from the divine. God communicates with us, and he communicates to us in various ways. He communicates to us through the universe, observation of the universe. He communicates to us through the things that we see around and the animals. God is speaking to us through them. God is speaking to us through nature. God is speaking to us through an individual that is called a messenger, or messengers, through dreams. In various ways, God speaks to human beings. He speaks to us in his revelation, in his divine manifestation, in his healing, and so on. Our purpose is to understand the language of God. So we must understand the language that echoes in the universe, but we must listen. One aspect is therefore to remain silent in the presence of God and allow God to speak so that we can hear and that we can respond in a jubilation of praise. I'm going to deal with this aspect in a wider context, to go into these into more detail so that you can derive much more from it. So therefore, it will be a longer session that I hope that I'll be able to do in another form on the internet. When we understand the language through the agents in which God used to speak to us, it means that we are open to everything and in every aspect in which God speaks to us. It means a certain awareness and alertness in which we hear God in even the simplest things of life. He may send an angel in the form of a person, or maybe in the form of a human being, in the form of an animal, but most likely human being or divine being. He speaks to us. Let us be open to this